Hi, I'm Darrell.
And I'm Elia.
And we are Black Nerdy Scholars. Episode 25.
Whoa!
I was gonna say that's a quarter. Because 25 cents. Alright, shut up. Okay, hold on. That's much better. I was trying to say that's a quarter's worth of $1. But that doesn't seem like a real.
We're a quarter away from. Wait, no, 100. No,
she quarter on my dollar till I 25
milestone.
Isn't 25 the number they say in SpongeBob? Where it's like,
what's funnier than 24?
What's funnier than 24? 25.
25. I'm mad I didn't have a birthday cake for that when I turned 25.
I don't even remember where I was when oh no, I do remember I was when I turned 25. I was about to go to Delaware State.
Hey.
Shout out HBCUs. I saw you tweeted something about going to HBCU, or not tweeted. You were on Blue Sky. You skeeted.
Yeah.
What? Something about money? What was that?
Yes. So basically, someone shared a story about apparently the student got accepted into like Penn State and Spelman, and they got a full ride to Penn State, but opted to go to Spelman. So that just started a discussion on Blue Sky. And I'm like, personally, wouldn't let that shit happen to me though.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Money is.
I think money is important, no matter how you try to spin it.
Yeah,
in this system.
Because my first choice wasn't necessarily Delaware State. I had gotten into, other HBCUs like Howard and Spelman. I really wanted to be a Spelman girly for a very long time.
Sure.
Even though looking back, I'm not sure I could see myself as one. But honestly, I went to Delaware State because they offered me the most money. And I'm like, I don't want school that. Also,
yeah.
To a degree, school is school. Like, you're gonna find.
I agree. I'm a big proponent of going to school just to be in an experience like school. Yes, you're gonna have to take out loans and all that stuff, but also like the Department of Education is crumbling. So like, who the fuck are we gonna pay those back to anyway?
Yeah.
I've always been a big proponent of like, fuck a major, fuck a business plan, go to school to be at school. To be amongst other peers that are in a similar state of life in a pseudo socialist commune, except everyone owes money to the government.
Yes.
Where you get to develop relationships in a way that you are recognized as an adult, you are away from your family. You get to experience people from all over, even if you just go to like the local college nearby.
Yeah.
I really think people should just, if not go to school, help create a system that represents what campus life is like. Really,
why was I going to say something way worse?
Uh-oh.
I was like, go to school or hang out with people at school. I'm like, ooh, it's sounding like them niggas who would just hang out at school.
There are the people that like, yeah, I was that for my early 20s.
Well, see, that's normal. It's like you just gotta age out of it after some point.
Okay, what age is too old to be hanging around a college campus while not attending?
I'll give you 24 max. That's generous.
24? What if I work there?
Oh, well, if you work there,
okay. Hold on. We're gonna do this really quick. I'm gonna pitch a character, right? You can't get into school, can't get the money to even like get the loans for a school, but at least some of your friends, like a good number of your friends, went to a college nearby.
Yeah,
like just close enough to drive to it, but just far enough away that it feels like it's a different part of like your city. That's kind of how it was in my hometown. Like there was the college part of town. I guess that's most cities that have colleges. Right. Many of his friends go there. Right. So he gets a job. He gets a job at the Chick-fil-A that's on campus, not sponsored, by the way. And then it's like he's getting money. His friends are there. he can save up money to like do whatever he wants. Then all of a sudden, like everyone else is getting stuff around 21, 22. People are settling into their careers, their side gigs, whatever. You get promoted to manager, right? And a thing that happens all the time is kids move for college and then just settle near there.
Yeah.
And so you've got new people that aren't from your hometown moving here and just staying here because that's like a tech job. For instance, I did my master's at Carnegie Mellon,
Yeah, I remember that.
and they have a huge like computer engineering program, because Google and like a handful of tech companies basically are like bought up a chunk of the city for their like Midwestern tech satellite branch, I guess. And so they sponsor a bunch of people, especially like I guess they're not exchange students, but like international students is the word. It's been a while since I've had to describe that. International students to Carnegie Mellon, so that way when they graduate with their like programming degree, they just go to work up the street. You still following?
Yeah.
So this guy, let's name him Derek. Derek's 22, right? A couple of his friends have graduated. They've moved on. They've flown out. But I'm making good money. I still have other friends here. A couple of friends that I met along the way, a little younger, 24, 25, manager of the Chick-fil-A that is at the campus.
This is not weird.
Okay.
This is nothing like I had in my. I feel like key here is you're still hanging out with your peers, like your age mates and whatnot. Whereas
then it sounds like what the criticism or the taboo is being 24 and then hanging out at your excuse me. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
I feel like 24 is iffy in the sense that, like, okay, I might go out to a bar and I'm 24 and I meet someone who's an undergrad and they're a 12th year and they're like 22, 23. Like, that's, I don't think that's too weird.
Okay, continue. I thought you were saying a different thing. You're saying I don't think that's too weird.
No.
All right, then what is it weird?
At least, I guess it's weird when it's like, I think of how I met quite a few men when I was an undergrad who had like, they might have been around from Delaware, but like didn't appear to have too many ties to the school. Like one time I had a guy who tried to flirt with me and he like lied about being a student, and he was like, yeah, I was like, wait, where's your class at? What building is your class in? And he could not tell me a single building. I'm like, okay, this is weird. So I think
like lying is weird.
Yeah.
Because you were deceiving.
I don't think it's weird necessarily to like go to the campus per se.
Okay.
But it gets to a point where it's like, I think particularly with the men folk, they'll like hang around the college to, meet women or younger women. And I'm like, dude, go to work. I mean, you're not.
Why are we talking about this?
Because we were talking about picking schools and how just go where you can go to school.
In conclusion, go to school.
At least financial extortion.
Yeah.
I personally think it's because school is school, parties are parties, alcohol is alcohol.
I do think, to the initial skeet that you were responding to, I do think it's fair to want to go to an HBCU anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I'll say, just from my own experience, HBCU really helped me. I feel like that's where I started. That's when I first became a person.
Yeah. We went to HBCU.
Yeah. Whoever you're referring to.
We had all the PWI allegations.
Oh yeah. I mean, we went to master's programs, or I guess PhD program. We went to secondary schools or graduate schools at PWIs.
Actually, I don't go to a PWI. Actually,
that's not a PWI.
It's an HSI and a AA.
Oh, sure.
Asian American Serving Institution. So I primarily most
Oh,
of my students are Asian American or Latino American.
cannot relate.
Yeah,
My
I get like
grad
a
programs
white
are
boy
white.
per quarter. Oh, my advisor is
Mm-hmm.
from your grad program. I think I told you that before.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he had a little
Well,
controversy with. They gave him a little hard time about his PhD. I heard.
oh, we'll talk about
Yeah.
that off camera.
Oh yeah, maybe after hours. I mean,
I or
after office hours.
we can you could hear the rest of that conversation in office hours. The show
Yes,
we do after the show. We'll talk about that more later.
spill the tea.
Um,
But yeah,
my
I
my
absolutely think
students
it's
are white.
fair. Honestly, I see why you would want, it's like, okay, fuck it. I'm gonna go to an HBCU. I want
Mm-hmm.
that experience. I think it was really helpful for me, especially as a kid who didn't get to go to school with as many black kids as, I would
Mm-hmm.
like to.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely an important part of my development, I think. And yeah, it's just I love niggas. Yeah.
Yeah. I went to school like I grew up around black people. I just made a lot of enemies.
Now you got
um
all the ops.
yeah, deserved though. I was a shitty kid. Um yeah, how's your week been?
Oh, it's been pretty good. I've been trying to balance drafting stuff for my dissertation and, it's the first week of class back from spring
Mhm.
break. Oh, it's a weird thing that appears to be happening. I only have 12 students, which seems really low. It almost feels too good to be true.
Mhm.
But I'm
That's nice
cuz
though.
yeah, usually I'll have between 19 and 23. Like last quarter I had like 23.
Mhm.
But I'm like, wow, it doesn't the class cap is 14. So at
Yeah.
max I could have 14 students for some reason. I don't know why. I'm not going to ask cuz
Mhm.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah,
The cap
I was
here
like,
is 18.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It fluctuates depending on if you're in a spring quarter or fall or winter. I think in
Mhm.
spring the class sizes go down a little bit for what I teach. But yeah, I showed them the Black Mirror episode I like to show at the
Mhm.
beginning of the quarter. And I'm always like, ooh, because though they usually stay after to finish the episode since it runs over a little bit. But I'll always be like, okay,
Mhm.
you need to go to your next class. It's technically class is over, so I'm not holding you. But they all stayed. So I was like, hee hee. I hope you kind of enjoyed at least.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah,
I've been catching up on like editing and work and all that stuff.
yeah.
I've been watching a bunch of films this week. I've been trying to stay up on movies. I know the
Did you
drama
watch
comes
one
out soon.
battle after another? Just kidding.
No, I haven't watched it yet
Shame
because
on you.
I don't wanna,
It's so fun. Okay.
and so I won't.
Ooh,
I'm gonna try to catch like all the major movies this year. Like I really want
yeah.
to be on top of it this year. And
Oh, do
so
you have your
actually
ticket for the drama?
we don't have it yet, but I'm gonna go see it for sure. Like we're definitely
Bet. I'm going
gonna
Saturday.
see it. Okay, I'm gonna probably go Sunday. I want to see the drama. What are the major films coming out this year?
The drama, the Odyssey. I really want to see the new Boots Riley film,
I love
Boosters.
Boosters.
Yeah, I love Boosters. Looking
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
What else is coming out?
Okay. So I saw the and you probably care less about this because of where you are. But I know the brand new day, Spider-Man brand new day trailer came out, and I gotta say, I'm
Looks good.
enticed. I that looks exciting. I'm interested. I
You
am
know what?
interested.
You know what Spider-Man stuff I've been looking at?
No.
Wait, your face made. Maybe it's how I said it. It sounded weirder than it
It
was going
sounded
to
like
be.
you're about to say some freak shit,
Okay, not
which is like
freaky.
your prerogative, but
True. Anywho, that Andrew Garfield interview that's been resurfacing where he said he would like to see a gender swapped MJ and that
mhm.
Michael B. Jordan could play gender swapped MJ. So there's been a ton of like gender swapped MJ fan fictions and fan art, but there's also been like a lot of Spidey Torch shipping I've seen,
Okay.
which also
Oh,
involves
Spider-Man and Human Torch?
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they've
yeah, yeah.
been doing a lot of like Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man, and Michael B. Jordan, Human Torch edits and videos.
They're doing that now?
Yeah.
And when was this interview?
The interview, I'm not sure. I don't think it was recent. It
And
just
so
seems to
right now
resurface.
they're doing those, both of those men are near 40.
Yeah.
They can't be the things that they're being
Oh no,
described
there's
as.
no expectation that they'll
Oh, okay.
they'll like come and like play them in a movie. I just thought it was
Just
fun
like
and cool.
drawing and like fan cams and stuff.
Yeah, there's been like a
Yeah.
bunch
Too
of
bad
pretty
that
fan
Fantastic
art.
Four movie sucks. I do like, okay, gender swap.
Yeah.
I kind of want to talk about gender swap. Let's
Oh yeah,
talk about
cool.
gender swapping today. Because I think the gender swap stuff that has been on my radar is the Bridgerton stuff.
Oh, interesting.
Have you been seeing that?
Have they been doing like gay like is like Michaela and I forgot her name.
If
As
anyone,
men.
if people don't remember, like, but Bridgerton is the Regency series that is like based on bodice ripper books. We've talked about it on the pod a couple times before, and each season follows each book, which follows each kid of the Bridgerton family, and in one of the books, the one that is about Francesca Bridgerton, the original person she has the romance with is a guy named Michael Sterling.
Her widow wait.
Her spoilers, her widow's cousin. And in the show, in the Shonda Rhimes show, one, Bridgerton already has like the whole like a lot of diversity racially because Shonda Rhimes loves swirls.
Yeah,
More power
swirl
to
queen.
her.
Yeah,
Swirl
she keeps a black
queen.
person and black people employed.
Yeah. Yeah, the
Everyone
Bridgerton,
really.
the Bridgertons love two things: eating box and a brown woman. Except for Colin, but I guess hers is plus size, or she is plus size, so
See,
that's kind of like
there's
being
diversity to be
a,
found.
a brown woman. Just kidding. I know they're not the same experience. Don't come for me. But for Francesca, the Michael character is gender swapped as well as race swapped into a Michaela Sterling. And they've confirmed that season 5 of Bridgerton will be the Francesca season, where we get to see her and Michaela. And there's I've seen a lot of like a vocal group on TikTok very anti this season. And they say a handful of different excuses, and like I don't need anyone to explain to me why they don't care. It's really not about that. But the stuff like it should have been Eloise's turn, but like they go out of order. Who cares?
Nigga, who?
She was just widowed. Yeah, but time skips happen.
That's the fucking book. God damn.
That's how it is in the book. But
I noticed a lot of
yeah.
Just quickly, I noticed a lot of Bridgerton critiques almost feel like the people don't realize this is a pre-existing series.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you can't have like critiques.
Do you think that's true?
Huh?
I don't know if that's true. What do you mean?
Well, it feels like I think they get so invested in how certain aspects of the show are being done in a way that almost seems like they don't like nitpicking little plot points that are just, events in the book. Like Michaela's husband dies and then she has like a second chance romance with a new character.
Okay. I get what you mean. I get what you mean. That like there's like a reaction to the tropes as if the tropes didn't come from recipes that were the books.
Yeah, like it's like if I watch The Great Gatsby and I'm really mad because why the fuck is Gatsby dead? Why did they kill Gatsby?
Spoilers!
They shouldn't have done that.
Spoilers for The Great Gatsby. F. Scott Fitzgerald. Yes, and so a lot of the discussion of Bridgerton season 5 seems to bend back around towards I'm just not as excited to see these two girls. If that's how you feel, whatever, that's fine. I'm not here
Wow,
to
because like, were you
critique you.
excited about Colin and Penelope?
I don't like his ass, so I wasn't
I don't
excited
like
about him at
Colin.
all.
I do like Penelope. I think she's
I like Penelope. I think Colin is
yeah.
whack, and I'm glad he's done.
No sauce, no aura.
But the point I was going to talk about, like, there is a conversation of like gender swapping. Where do you stand on the practice of specifically gender swapping? I don't want to talk about race swapping, even though that is more prevalent.
Yeah.
I specifically want to talk about gender. What is your take on gender swaps?
Okay, so I feel like my introduction to gender swapping probably came in the form of like Tumblr and fandom. So,
Mhm.
People would, it was pretty normal to gender swap pairings, especially if it was to like make them queer. Like it was like, oh, we're gonna gender swap one of the characters and make it gay or whatever. I I personally don't have a problem with gender swapping. Interesting because this is somewhat related, but I saw someone did a gender swap of Glinda and Elphaba from Wicked
Uh-huh.
as like two men, and like some people got really mad at that. Like they were
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh, you're let them be girls and let them be lesbians." And I was like, "Oh wow," because I guess I'm so used to seeing gender swapping when I'm
Mhm.
in the wild, and I'm like, it's people have fun, they make fan art, they swap genders. I do think that,
Can I
yeah,
make a big sweeping generalization that I've only moderately thought through and have not researched very well at all?
sure,
I think the problem with gender swapping is capitalism. Let it cook. Let it cook. You hear it? Give it a second. Because there is a long tradition when it comes to narrative going back centuries to antiquity of taking a story that hits and then basically doing it again.
oh yeah,
Most of Shakespeare's stories are shit he stole from other like European indigenous communities and the Greeks.
Hamlet.
Like
If you ever saw the Northman, to everyone listening, if you ever watched the Northman,
with one of the
the
Skarsgårds in that,
A24,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
Alexander,
Yeah, okay.
one of my baby fathers.
Does
That's
he
where
know?
the Hamlet, huh?
Does he know that he's one of your
He
baby
doesn't gotta know.
fathers?
Our
Oh, okay,
bond is
okay, okay,
stronger than
okay.
that. He don't gotta know.
Okay, okay.
But yeah, so Hamlet, the play Hamlet is directly inspired. Well, not even inspired because it's the whole fucking
Mm-hmm.
story of the story of Hamlet and his, the what is it? The Nordic? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Right.
where he got
And
Hamlet
so
from.
like there's plenty of room to be like we talked about Euphoria last episode of the pod. Euphoria is not literally, but it takes reference to Romeo and Juliet. And you can see it in the names of the two female leads, or the two women leads,
Why did I not know
Rue
that?
and Jules. It is not a retelling, but I'm not. That's not my point. The point
Yeah,
is there is reference to this thing, and it is playing with the gender, right? I
and
think
Maddie is Mercutio. Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. Don't run with that.
is he or is she?
I was just saying that. Well,
No,
no,
no, no, no.
nah.
Don't worry about that. Yeah, Shakespeare heads. Shakespeare heads. Take care of that. Caution for it. But there are tons of stories that you wouldn't even know are basically, oh, this is a retelling of Shakespeare if people didn't say it. And in something like that, if there's gender swapped stuff, then it to the person that isn't informed, it is just a story about this person.
Yeah,
Like we used to have, there was the period in like the late 90s, early 10s where we were doing tons of Shakespeare um interpretations, but specifically in
10
high
Things I Hate
school.
About You.
10 Things I Hate About You. She's all that. She's the man. Um, Alicia Silverstone, Donald Faison, Clueless.
Mm,
Clueless. That's not Shakespeare. I think that's Emma. I'm pretty sure that's Emma, Jane Austen.
okay.
But still, right?
Mhm.
Taking these classic works and redoing them, but with a noticeable change, like doing a reinterpretation of thing. But because of capitalism, remember the initial point that I'm doing this tirade of is because of capitalism. We're so entrenched in IP. Like, even just looking at the movies that are coming out this year, so many of them are like, they're part of franchises, or they're an existing work. They're a part of a
IP?
book, an intellectual property.
Oh,
So licensed slash like trademarked copywritten work, right?
okay. Okay.
Stuff that's not in the public domain. Anyone can do a story about Sherlock Holmes right now, right?
Yeah.
There's a
Oh,
reason why Elementary was able to do Sherlock Holmes and
Great
gender
Gatsby hit the public
swap.
domain recently.
It did.
Yeah.
Oh, put a pin in that. We'll talk about that later. um, Elementary in the tens gender swapped Watson, and I'm sure people were like, why are they gender swapping Watson? But also, it was one, like public domain, and two, the point of it was how different it was. But you get stuff like the Marvel movies are adaptations of a thing that is currently live. Right? Bridgerton is an adaptation of a book that people are alive for, and it is all a part of the same IP. And so, because we are so like franchise pilled, we like we're almost using media to form our in groups and out groups, like through Tumblr, through TikTok, through whatever. And so, this is like, even if you don't care about Bridgerton specifically, we have been trained to go, the reason to change this now is because of some intentional programming or like political statement. But you wouldn't say that if it were just, hey, my book is kind of loosely based on Romeo and Juliet. Bridgerton is from not too long ago. Project Hail
You
Mary is
wouldn't
from
say that
not too
about
long
Euphoria.
ago. Yeah. So that's what I meant. That the problem is capitalism. Because
Yeah.
like, at a certain point, it's not even it's like, yes, it's still a gender swap, but if it's removed enough from the original, then it like,
It's a
who
new story.
cares? It's like a new story. But we're so stuck on telling the same story that when something is slightly different, it's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Michael's not a Michaela. Plus, obviously, like, there's misogyny.
Yeah, of course. Especially since
Misogyny.
I imagine the target audience of Bridgerton is, and originally was, straight white women.
Which is interesting because that is also the demographic for Heated Rivalry. And they
Yeah.
love that.
I think there's love is an interesting word, I think, in the realm of like straight women in heated rivalry, because I'm like, the way they engage with it is very interesting, I think.
Say more.
I mean, I don't want to go and just, I'm trying to think of a less strong word than a little fetishy, but it
I
definitely the
think
fandom.
fetishy is fair.
Okay, yeah. I see that in a lot of how they engage with the show, and even like the depersonalization, I don't think that's the right word, of the actors, and Connor Story and Hudson, I forgot his last name. But yeah, they're men. They're like 20 something year old guys who have a job, and it's they engage with them. So
Hudson Williams.
yeah, Hudson Williams. So it's like, yeah, these are just, and some of these women are like 40 something, and I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, chill out
But
on.
that's demographic, like that kind of obviously these groups are not exclusively straight
Yeah, of
white
course.
women,
Yeah, for sure.
but the like average, I guess, would be a straight white woman.
Yeah.
There is that kind of like there's a fervor associated with like white suburban mom. Because I remember when people
It's,
we talk about with like Club Chalamet, like people used to get that way over Justin Bieber and Finn Wolfhard, like.
and
Mm-hmm.
kind of related, but I think about that documentary you and Kenny watched about
Yeah,
that dude that the
I
thirst
don't
trap.
remember. Thirst Trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like these like divorcees sending this 21-year-old boy thousands and thousands of dollars because he satisfied some lack that they have been forced to suffer, mostly due to capitalism and
Yeah.
misogyny.
Patriarchy. They all go
Those things,
together.
those things are entwined. I got to be careful because there are a lot of online leftists will be like, no, this isn't racism. This is capitalism. Hey, bud, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. It's both.
I
Porque
mean,
de los
it's
dos.
try talking to like a Marxist in a critical theory or English program about race and capitalism.
Yeah. It's like in my utopia, we are all like anarcho-communists and we're all white men. Wait, no. Yeah. And so like when it comes to like gender swapping, which is a different conversation than race swapping, I just want to reiterate.
Yes.
I would wager most of the time there's a point.
Yeah.
But when the original text, because you can't swap something if there's something original like didn't exist, since the texts are so recent, there is the whatever statement or theme or point you want to make is kind of caught behind this layer of you're doing this to make money off of people that want lesbians. And also they're not lesbians. Francesca's bisexual. Well, I guess one of them might be. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Language doesn't matter here. But I also think like I do want to this might be kind of a pivot, but obviously since the zeitgeist for the last decade has been so focused on trans people, a lot of people are really acutely aware of gender in a way that it wasn't the same when we grew up. And that's for better or for worse. I'm not trying to say one is better. But when we grew up, and I don't want to say especially, but in my mind it is colored by race, a lot of like black household movies feature cross-dressing.
Yeah.
Right? There's Medea.
Tyler Perry.
Yeah, Big Mama's House, White Chicks. Norbit.
Even Martin. There's a reoccurring cross-dressing character. Well, a character who was supposed to be a woman played by Martin.
Yeah. But I know that's not inherently racial because I know like Robin Williams did like Mrs. Doubtfire. Obviously, Some Like It
There's
Hot.
probably a lot of essays about
Some
comedy and cross-dressing and men, gender.
Is Some Like It Hot like from the 50s? Is that the one with the two cross-dressing men?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen Some Like It Hot.
Some Like It Hot. 1959.
Wait, actually, I have seen Some Like It Hot. Why did I lie? Is that with Marilyn Monroe?
Marilyn Monroe. Jack Lemmon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, I know growing up, as someone that watched a lot of movies, I was considering gender alone first. Like, I was able to, like, see art that played with gender in a way that made me kind of lower whatever defenses I might have towards the thing.
I agree. I think of my one of my first anime, my favorite, Fruits Basket. I just remember one of the
Mm.
characters he cross dresses,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, oh yeah, it's just what he does. It's a thing
Not
that
just
you
what he
do.
does, like it's also like framed. It allows, it creates a space of romance.
Yeah, because he has a
Or in
prominent
high
ship with
school. Hold on, that anime's old. The
Fruits
kids
Basket. Oh yeah, Fruits
genuinely
Basket
might
is
not know
quite
what the
old.
fuck it is. So
Okay,
no, I think Or in High School is the better pull. I think it's more pertinent
where's
because
cross dressing? Oh yeah, Haruhi. My bad.
yeah, how do we? Yeah.
Also was one of my favorite anime. Interestingly enough, I was with all the cross dressing.
Wait, go back. Or in High School Host Club. Explain
Okay, so
it.
Orange High School Host Club is this story of, well, obviously a host club, but the main character Haruhi, she's
We don't
initially
have host clubs in America, right? Like that's not a
no, we don't
thing.
have host clubs.
Okay, so if you aren't familiar, it's literally like it's like the designated party planning slash a sorority, kind of.
Yeah,
It's
like the
it's
thing
it's
with
a
the
group of it's an after school program or not. It's
yeah,
a club, obviously, or in High School Host
like the
Club.
boys like well, I mean it's not gender specific. Like they have women host clubs and
Yeah,
male host clubs. Well, hostess host.
yeah.
But yeah, so Orange High School Host Club, they're all the rave, all the girls love them, but they end up mistaking one of the female students, Haruhi, for a boy, and they end up like inviting her to be in the host club. I mean, they learned shortly after that she's a girl, but they still, as far as everyone else, the patrons of the host club, they all think Karuhi is a boy. They read her as one, they treat her as one. She gets, you know, there's a
Hmm.
lot of the patrons that they love her and whatnot, and it's like this little secret between
Hmm.
her and the host club. But another thing is like, I think at some point they are like romantically
They
interested in
all
her. It's a
kind of
reverse
take
harem,
turns falling in love with this girl who dresses
reverse
like a
harem.
dude. Yeah,
But also we know who her one
of course,
true love
Tamaki.
is. Tamaki. Also
Yeah. The thing I
Tamaki,
remember most from Orin
my
High School
favorite.
Host Club is the twins because I reference the way they say their names a bunch, right? Because I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah.
like Hikaru, Kaoru, and it's like these two twins that kind of kiss each other. I don't know. That's
Little
for a
twin
different thing.
zesty.
Yeah.
The
Um.
girlies ate that shit up though, I gotta say.
But yeah, there's a bunch of media like that. Growing up, I do think that media is because of how do I say this? If you didn't watch movies and you didn't watch TV, this all was probably really foreign to you until like 2015, 2016, when all of a sudden everyone's talking about transness. And so then it's like, to a lot of people,
It's like, where did this come
where
from?
did this come from? And also, we're framing it as if it's bad. So let me hunker down in
Yeah.
my gender. And now we have like the manosphere. But even we also have like the straight white woman group that is pro heated rivalry but anti Bridgerton.
Trans.
They're
The gender essentialist
they might be
lesbian.
anti trans too, but I'm not making that claim. Yeah. And so I guess my question is, I do think, hold on. This might transition a little bit. Another example that I had is Bad Bunny.
Oh yeah.
Like Bad Bunny plays a lot with gender.
Yes.
He does drag a
Love
bunch.
him.
And really a lot of it is drag, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we would have called it that, at least not where I grew up. Like when the Wayans did White Chicks, but it's drag. They're doing drag.
Yeah, it's definitely drag. I think that's more fitting even than
Yeah.
cross dressing.
Weren't you telling me? Wait, hold on. Didn't you mentioned Christine Nome did drag or something like that?
Okay. So now we're going to talk about Kristi Noem's husband.
Kristi Noem is the, for a reminder, former head of Department of Homeland Security. She was the one that was in charge when ICE first started doing their public kidnappings and executions. But now
she also shot her dog.
She also shot her dog. That is a real thing that happened in real life. Yes.
She told us.
All right, what were you showing me?
Yeah, so basically photos leaked about Kristi Noem's husband.
Oh, her husband. Okay,
yeah. Yes. Of course, naturally he's I don't really know what he does, something conservative and, you know. But basically all these different pictures have been circulating of him with like balloon boobs and biker shorts. So people have been talking about how he might have like, you know, be into like bimbofication, which is just you know, it's like really big boobs and prominent lips. And like it's interesting because if you look at like Kristi Noem a few years ago versus now, a lot of her appearance is leaning towards like bimbofication, you know. So like the fuller cheeks, adding the lip filler, the dramatic lashes, whatnot. Ozempic, of course.
Like a lot of people, particularly prominent women in the Conservative Party, but like it is not just like bound to one political group. A lot of women, especially older women, are investing in this like plasticky look. They've got the like Mar-a-Lago face.
You think this is Epstein's fault? Just kidding. But
let's unpack that later.
Yes.
Okay, so Kristi Noem's husband, the guy that she cheated on, right? Allegedly.
Yeah, because they were circulating alleged photos of the reason that she got fired
is because of the alleged affair. Allegedly.
Yes. Which
so
is wild because, like, I think of all the prominent politician men who.
Wait, so what did he have to say about it?
Affairs. Oh, or no, there's I don't know if there's really much to say other than like, dang, he's in this he did this to himself in the sense that he could be free to follow his like cross-dressing or like bimbofication passions, but you know, since he presumes the ideals of like a party, you know, that like puts like hate at the front and like even like anti-transness. Not that I think he's trans, because you know, I think you can cross-dress and it's not necessarily like, oh, I want to be different gender or whatnot. But yeah, like I wonder like how this will be furthered in the media, since the people who would be most upset about this are like the people within his own party.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you'd say that, but wasn't there was also a guy, I don't remember his name, but it was a white dude who was like anti-trans platform that like went undercover as a trans woman. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I have no idea. Do you have something to share?
Josh Cedar. Yes.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Okay, hold on, let me share this. Right. Okay, so a couple years ago, back in like 2023, 2024, this guy, Josh Cedar, like went undercover or something. Is that also
him on the left?
Oh, is that him? Oh my God, that is him.
I was like, why he?
He was a Bachelorette contestant. Okay, but he apparently had a bunch of like, you know the way that reality TV people join reality TV at this point because their goal is to become famous by any means necessary, as opposed to the like half-hearted truth they were trying to live back in like the 2000s.
Yeah.
It seems like he's just kind of like a person that wants to be noticed. But one of the ways he wanted to be noticed is by, I wish they had more pictures. Hold on, we can watch this.
Hey Josh, you don't know me, but I remember you. I remember when you got dumped for being a clout chaser by actual transgender woman, Miss Monica Beverly Hills of RuPaul's Drag Race. Yeah, and then after Monica dumped you,
That's not.
from the
Ignore
Oh.
this part. This isn't showing me what I wanted to be shown.
So he went so undercover that he became a drag
Yeah,
queen and also dated a drag queen.
Yeah, he like just in drag, and he was like, "Hi guys, I'm transitioning," and then a bunch of people were like, "Wow, we're so happy for you. Live your truth." And then he was like, "Ha ha! You guys thought it was trans. That's how stupid the woke mind virus is. The liberals genuinely believed I'm trans." And they were like, and people were like, "Oh, okay, we just took you at your word." And then he was
Yeah.
like, "I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna just as trans. I'm gonna pretend to be I'm gonna pretend to be trans." And he goes like on and off for like a year and some change. Oh. He went undercover for like a year, and people were like, "Hey, you're still pretending to be trans. Maybe you are trans. Maybe this is just your truth if it
Which is
feels
totally
this comfortable."
fine.
Which is, yeah. And so he was like, "I'm playing a prank on those idiot wokies." And everyone's like, "We're so proud of you. Like, you're
Like,
safe here. Please just live your truth. Live free."
like the gotcha's not what you think it is, babe.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so weird. I think I think people should play with their gender more.
For sure. Because guess what?
And,
you don't lose anything from.
yeah. And even if
You
it's
might
in
gain
really small
something.
ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me with my
'Cause
jorts.
do you
Just kidding.
feel masculine in your jorts?
I do feel a bit masculine when I have like my jorts and I'll have like my big ass t-shirt or long sleeve. I do feel
Yeah.
a little boyish in a good way.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
I do, because I think people, like with the conversation of gender and transitioning, like people have a very narrow view due to
sure.
ignorance, and I don't mean that as an insult. Ignorance towards like transness. People think that to be trans is to cut your dick off and play pretend.
Yeah.
But like, we all affirm our own gender all the time. When you get a haircut, you're affirming your gender. When you put makeup on, you're affirming your gender.
Affirming your gender.
Right? When you lose weight, you're affirming your gender. When you let yourself when you stop worrying about your weight and you find comfort in your body, you are affirming your gender.
There's an idea that gender affirmation is for queer people when the standard, I mean, not the standard, but gender affirming starts with like, cis het people doing cis het things. Even me, when I like put on makeup or like hell, I shave my armpits or something, that's all gender affirming stuff.
In a sense, because transphobic people don't allow themselves the space to play, their transphobia is their gender affirmation.
Very much so.
A guy that is super hardcore, like J.K. Rowling, Joanne. Joanne, I remember a couple years ago, she did her like anti-trans manifesto on Twitter or whatever. And one of the things she said was like, if I had heard about this when I was a little girl, of course I would have wanted to be a boy. Honey, say that again slowly. Run it back. Read the transcript. Yeah, maybe there's some boundaries that you should push past. But instead of working on that thing with herself, she is affirming her gender as a woman by being transphobic. You are doing gender affirming care, and you're bigotry. It's like medicating with a drug instead of over-the-counter pills. It's like, yeah, it's opium. You're doing it wrong. You know what I mean? Yeah, you could go to the doctor and get a sedative, or you can do H in the alleyway. Like, I guess we're both medicating.
Hell, I even think about, I feel like this is somewhat related. I noticed there's like a lot of outcry from cis women and cis men and the label of cis genderness, because
Yeah.
they see, like, the way they see it is like, oh, I have this unnecessary label added to my gender when I am the gender norm. Like, I think that's how they interpret that,
Yeah.
when really it's just,
Yeah. I remember that there another one of those conversations went around, because there's like a group of Black women on TikTok that were like, "Don't call me cis," which is like, whatever, man. Like, I ain't got to call you nothing. We ain't got to talk. That's fine. But their antagonism towards the label of cis, which is morally neutral, and it
Yeah.
is just a way for us to have the conversation about gender and move forward. The rebellion against that is gender affirming.
Yeah. And I think it's we see it even more so, or differently, even with like Black women, since there's like a history of Black women and generally feeling like, the lack of access to gender affirming stuff, or just gender just wasn't necessary. Gender wasn't made for Black people.
Yeah.
It was not
gender as we know it in this country.
Yeah. Because the slave was
there
not
were plenty of genders back
for sure.
in different like communities in
for
like
sure.
Western Africa. They had gender roles that do not match what we have here. The Western, specifically American idea of gender is formed by slavery.
Yeah. So it's like they're coming from
capitalism.
Capitalism always.
But definitely slavery. And it's like, since the country's inception, Black women have been pushed into this other thing, which I'm not saying anything new, but like, Black women weren't allowed to be women.
Yeah.
And things have gotten better. They're not done. The work isn't done. And I'm sure I understand why reactionary people react the way they do.
They're coming from a place of insecurity already, instability with their own gender imagery.
Yeah. And thus, to fight this progressive wave, you are affirming your own gender.
Through this transphobia, when in reality, I want to tell my friends over there, if the more inclusive gender is, I think the more freedom you have to affirm your gender without having, other people trying to restrict your gender. Like, the restriction of trans rights is directly connected to the restriction of race and other rights, which a lot of people don't realize. Like, when they start rolling back the shit for trans people.
Yeah. Shit that rolls back for trans people is gonna hit Black people first. It already has been hitting Black people first. Oh no, you're joking. Oh no. Put your arms up.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, the government.
Wait, is that really what you're supposed to do when you choke?
I don't know. That's what I was told to do as a kid.
Wait, I feel like that
the government's trying to stop. Joanne is trying to cut off our platform.
You'll never get me alive.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna write gay Harry. No way, I'm not gonna write Harry Potter.
No, don't even say its name. No free publicity here. Yeah. Well, before Joanne strikes us down from the internet, where can they find us, Leah?
You can find us on Blue Sky. I don't know why I started with Blue Sky. You can find us on any place that there is podcasts. I don't be on Blue Sky. I'm on the pod Blue Sky. I can't even lie. You can catch me on my own though. Or you can find us on TikTok, and you can also find our special Super Tea conversations on Patreon.
And on Patreon, for $5 a month, you get access to Office Hours, our show after the show, where we're a little looser, a little riskier. We consume a little legal substance and just have a good time. And if you want to know what that be about, Let me give you a little let me give you a little sneak peek right here. Oh, you are bugging.
Like,
What for who? Who is this for? What kids
This
are
is
at
the
home
shit-
watching Nick Jr. like Sporticus did
Like-
a two-limbed push-up? Holy shit.
I can't lie. I feel like a couple people bust their ass and may have injured some kids
Yeah.
themselves trying to recreate this.
So head over to Patreon if you can afford it. If not, please like, comment, and subscribe. And until we see you again, stay black, stay nerdy, and read books. Read books. I've been reading a lot of comic books recently.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've been reading Absolute Martian Manhunter.
Ooh,
That shit is gas.
guys.